When people raise the subject of the Peerage Act 1963, they touch on a piece of legislation that is more limited, more idiosyncratic than many assume. And I think it's worth setting this out. The Peerage Act in 1963 was designed to solve a specific problem, the case of Tony Benn. Inheriting the title Viscount Stansgate automatically excluded him from the House of Commons, and Benn argued passionately that peers should have the right to renounce their hereditary titles in order to serve as commoners in the elected chamber. After much agitation, Parliament agreed. Parliament relented. The Act allowed hereditary peers to disclaim their titles, but only within a strict time frame, usually within 1 year of inheriting or within 1 year of the Act itself being passed. Two men did this famously. Tony Benn, who promptly returned to the Commons, and Sir Alec Douglas Hume, who renounced his earldom so he could sit in the Commons when becoming Prime Minister in 1963. But, and here's the crucial limitation, the Act only applies to hereditary peers. Life peers under the 1958 Life Peerages Act are appointed for life. There is no mechanism to resign or renounce a life peerage. The law makes them permanent lords until death, whether they are resident members of the House of Lords itself or not. So while Benn and Hume could take advantage of the Act, someone created a life peer, say Lord Frost or Allerton, is locked into the upper chamber whether they like it or not, and the only escape hatch would be a monarch advised by the government revoking the title through ancient prerogative powers, a nuclear option that has not been used in modern times and would only be used as a mark of disgrace. Now, to mention Steve Jones's comment, Steve Jones 4275 says the 1963 Peerage Act allows lords to quit and enter the Commons if they are elected to a seat. Tony Benn and Alec Douglas Hume both use that law. That is correct for hereditary peers only and within that specific time frame. The confusion arises because people assume the law applies universally. It does not. Life peers cannot renounce. And this is something that Lord Frost, the person who arranged the Brexit, the appalling Brexit organisation, the appalling Brexit agreement, is stupid enough to think that he can renounce his own peerage. He cannot. And if he doesn't understand his own position, it suddenly explains why he so clearly didn't understand the position of the United Kingdom, why he was the worst person for that job of negotiating, because he doesn't read the paperwork, because he doesn't read the small print, because he isn't a master of the facts. And the irony is that the 1963 Act was so tightly drafted around Benn's predicament that it solved that problem, but it ignored future flexibility. And here we reach to the heart of the matter, because Lord Frost, who was ennobled as a life peer to sit in the Lords and serve as the Brexit negotiator, has suggested occasionally that he should like to be able to run for the Commons, yet the very instrument that created his peerage binds him. Unlike Benn or Hume, he has no legal means of renouncing his title at all. For him to say otherwise or to feign outrage that the rules don't apply is either ignorance or grandstanding. He wants the privileges of an hereditary peer without the responsibility of understanding the law. And that makes him, in parliamentary terms something of a twit. He cannot waive both his life peerage as a badge of authority and then sulk when it keeps him from standing in the Commons. He is stuck in the gilded cage his party built for him. And the older mechanism, historically the monarch has the prerogative to strip peers of their titles for treason, for rebellion, for grave misconduct. This was rarely exercised and today would be unthinkable without statutory authority. So the romantic idea that the king could rescue Frost from his ennoblement by waving his sceptre and saying, "Begone, Lord Frost," is constitutionally fanciful. So, the Peerage Act of 1963 was at best a patchwork fix for a single injustice. It is not a general right of resignation from the peerage. Life peers remain trapped, Frost included, and the law is deliberately silent on giving them an exit. If one insists on interpreting Frost's grumbles charitably, they may be read as a call for reform. If one interprets them accurately, they are the frustrated whines of a man who failed to read the small print, a man who could not do his job properly, a man who doesn't do his present job properly, a man who was signally incapable of negotiating for Brexit. So there we are. Please, can we stop having this constant refrain? Steve Jones, please check the details and let's agree not to have any more of these messages. But thank you for the trouble of replying, and I really do try to read as many of the comments as possible, and I salute people who make the effort, bots included. But yeah, if something is wrong, it needs to be called out, and go back to the text. Look at the law, please. Thank you.